Because he's a black man? Now, come on. Chad Martin needs to wake up on this. I wish he'd call in, because my question would be, how would he report it?
I wish he would too. I'd like to hear you ask him that.
We'll get some time to ask him.
Well, Bob, I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening, and you are looking good tonight.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good evening.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, well, it's going pretty good.
Hey, yeah, I was going to tell you, I think that girl is really picking with that guy. I had heard something about she had beat herself up, and I just wanted to say that it's two sides to her story, though, but that's just what I heard.
Well, he got convicted on the first go round, and then he's got a conviction down in Mecklenburg County, and they don't, when you get into court, they don't do it on what someone thinks, or they do it on the facts and the evidence, and that's what court's all about. That brings it down. So I don't know. I don't see how a woman could do all that stuff to herself. She can't choke herself till she goes unconscious. Come on now.
Yeah, that's her word against his. I mean, you got some conniving women out here. I ain't saying all women, but anytime a man, that's all they got to say is, a man touched me last year and he goes to jail. I mean, women got rights a whole lot more than what men got.
Not supposed to be, but you could be right on that. But I mean, this isn't a case where this woman didn't cut herself. You don't think that, do you? And she's bruised, hit in the head.
You don't seen that movie, Thin Line Between Love and Hate?
Nope.
Hey, check that movie out and see how that woman, what she do to that man.
Well, I know there's some conniving women and that sort of thing, but he'll have a chance he can present that in court and, give the judge or a jury to decide whether this was a situation like you're talking about or not a situation what you're talking about. He'd be dismissed. But in these cases so far, they got convictions. You've got to look at the evidence.
She was a police officer too,
Well, see, that makes it worse because we hold the police at a higher standard because of what they do. They're there to serve and protect. And certainly you don't want someone that's this abusive in law enforcement. I wonder if he'd had any complaints against him while he was a law enforcement officer.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
He looks like a good guy.
He's a very good guy. He's in love with that woman, and that woman just picking with him,
You think she's bringing it on?
Probably help provoking. I mean, it's two sides to every story. I can't tell you.
That's right.
I can't give him all the credit, but or give her all the credit. But it just, it's two sides to every story.
That's right.
But I can't see putting your hands on a woman. Especially she helpless, but you just don't know what happened.
That's right. We'll find out when it goes to court.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Good evening.
Hey, Bob.
Hey.
This guy's not currently a police officer, right?
Correct.
Okay. When was he last a police officer?
Back in the summer when one incident happened and he was relieved of his duties.
Okay. What was this past summer?
I think so.
Okay. It just seemed longer than that to me. I don't know. But as far as picking on him, I don't know about that, but I do know something. Y'all do pick a story, and sometimes you pick it to death.
Well,
if it's a controversial story, you'll hang it up there until finally nobody wants to talk about it no more.
Well, that's what it is. That's what this show's about. We've got people got interest in it.
That's what I'm saying. You'll pick a story, and it's like a scab. You just keep picking and picking and picking and picking, and it just goes. It seems like it goes on for a long time.
Give me an example.
My opinion. That's what I see.
Give me an example.
I'm sure y'all have a whole different.
Hey, hold on. Give me an example.
An example?
Yeah.
Oh, the reversion thing. The stuff about the sheriff. Lazy deputies. There's a bunch of different ones.
Lazy deputies. I hadn't heard that.
Lazy deputies. Okay. Well, I guess you didn't pay attention.
I didn't hear it.
I guess not.
Well, that was
But
when the election,
he
don't you
picked
remember?
that story, and he picked that to
Don't you
death.
think when the sheriff opponent says lazy deputies, that's a story?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you kept doing it.
It was in the heat of an
It was
election
just like
season, and you
overkill,
kept-
in my opinion.
Okay.
I know how I feel about it. That's my opinion.
Should that not be a topic?
Did I say it shouldn't be a topic? I said I think you overdo it.
And what's too much? I mean,
I don't know.
2 days,
You're
3
asking
days.
You're asking the question. It seems like you might have some sense that maybe it is too much because you're asking the question. And in my opinion, I want people to call in and give their opinion. I think you pick a story, and a lot of times you pound it in the ground and you pick it to death.
Give us
That's
some
my
more-
opinion. You asked me, and
I know, well, Chad Martin accused us of doing this one too long.
I think. Well, okay. He agrees with me in some sense.
Yeah. But we got the deputy
I
back at
agree
it,
that you'll pick a story and you'll pick it to death.
and we're back at it again.
Say what your reasons are. My reasoning is I think you do it just to, get eyeballs on your TV station so you can sell advertising.
Well, hot topics, people do want to talk about hot topics. They don't talk about grass growing.
Well, I know, Charles. I didn't say that. I said I think you pick it to death.
Give us some more topics.
Oh, it's my fault that you pick it. If there's
Well,
nothing
I mean, if you
to
got,
cover.
the more topics we have, the more discussion we have, and the more ratings we can get.
Okay, well, you pick a different topic.
Help us.
Pick it. Help us.
Be creative.
Right. You're silly. You're just being silly now.
All
You
right.
call me and ask me my opinion. I give it to you. You just want to argue with me. That's
All right.
my opinion.
Let's get back on the story. What do you think about this? With
I
this-
think he's picked it to death.
Well, this is-
And he will continue to pick it to death.
It just happened. Has he picked it to
I
death?
know. That's what I'm saying. Let's just see. Let's watch and see how long he picks at this story.
Well, first of all, we got the,
Started it today. And how
right.
many more days coverage do you think we're going to be talking about this?
quite a bit. We'll be following the court coverage.
Uh-huh.
And as long as people are talking about it, we're going to listen and give them a chance to express
Yeah, as
their
long
views.
as you get people watching your advertisement,
Well,
and
that
then
ain't-
you've
look.
achieved your goal.
How many channels you got on your TV?
You're going to put up there what you think is going to sell.
How many channels do you have on your TV?
I got a bunch of them.
Well, why do you bitch and moan and groan when you got all those channels?
You invite me to call in. This is a talk show. You say, call in and give us your opinion, and I start giving you my opinion, and you don't like it.
It's all right with your opinion, but my point is, if we're doing a story and you don't like it, why do you watch it?
Oh, well, I don't always. If you pick it to death, I lose interest. I will turn the channel.
Okay, well, I don't ever hear you not calling in.
I'd not call in all the time. I hardly ever call you.
I know it.
I know. You're probably happy.
All right, we got to move on. I appreciate your call.
You move on and keep it up and pick it to death.
All right, we're going to be called the Pickers in news. Golly Moses. Good evening.
Hey, Bob, I'm like you. That fool just talking about picking something to death. If he knows y'all picking something to death, he's watching too much 18, I think. He's full of junk, man. Come on. Is he retarded or, I mean, I ain't making fun of somebody. I don't know what's wrong with him. I kind of like you. I better seldom tune y'all in, but if I do, I don't see where y'all picked anything to death because I don't watch it enough to see y'all pick something to death. Like you said, that's the only channel he's got. If it is,
You ever
I
seen?
feel sorry for him. You know?
You ever seen that news channel Newsy?
Yeah.
Well, if you notice that and what they do, you could say, well, they pick it to death. They almost make a documentary of the stories that they do, but they go into depth, and that's where a lot of information comes out because more people's opinions. Somebody will pop up and say, well, I know that guy, and he did this, that, and that sort of thing. So it's not that we're picking it to death. We're giving people to voice their thoughts on it, and we'll stay with the story as long as the people stay with the story.
Well, see, Henry and Martinsville County, I mean, city of Martinsville and Henry County ain't but so big. Okay, come on, 60, 70,000. And here this man calls in something stupid. Y'all picking something down. Well, hey, flick the channel like you said. Come on, man. If he ain't got no more, he may have arthritis, so he can't get to his remote. I'm sorry, I didn't think about that, and I apologize.
All right.
Maybe he can't hit his remote. But I appreciate you, Bob.
Thank you, sir.
All right, bye.
Have a good evening. Wow. Good way to start off a new year. Anyway, let's hear some more opinions. 656-2255, the number live here at Star News. And we welcome your opinions. We don't mind being criticized, but certainly we're going to take up for what we believe and do what we think's right. We've been doing this a long time. But we don't pick an individual out and go after them because they're black. We've been accused by that by a political official. That tells me something about that political official. Something's wrong there. Good evening.
I think Chad Martin's conduct the last couple of weeks has been totally unacceptable for a person supposed to be representing the city of Martinsville. He's made several comments lately that's totally out of reason. And I want to say that. Also, I want to say, y'all not covering this story about this deputy beating this woman up because they're black. Look at the officer that was involved with killing his wife, the Fieldale area. He was white. Y'all covered that extensively.
David, I can't think of his last name. Yeah, that was I've been to a lot of trials. I've been in court many times, but I've never seen a trial that intense in my life. David Morris.
Also, yeah, David Morris, yeah. Also, when the all Henry County Sheriff deputies got busted up anything, back in the old David Sheriff Council administration, all of them guys were white. Y'all put every one of them's picture on there, covered it, and told us what was going on. If it hadn't been for Channel 18, we would have heard all that stuff.
Yeah, there was
So
one.
it's black ain't got a damn thing to do with it.
No, there was one black officer involved in that.
It might have been. I'm sorry I missed him, but
Yeah, that was. Well, I tell you what.
Chad Martin wouldn't even participate in the vote for the elected mayor of Martinsville, and that's supposed to be his duty. He's a city councilman. If he's on city council, he's supposed to. He didn't even go. I hear he didn't even go into the room. He just was sitting in another room. Wouldn't go vote. Now that's not acceptable. That's like it's almost like a dereliction of duty on city council. He's supposed to
Participate.
Right. So I think he's got a problem.
And I don't understand it because we never heard anything. Some of the things that we're hearing now, all of a sudden, he was kind of quiet, and but then all of a sudden he's kind of.
I remember when he got elected to council, man. He was jubilant, man. He was just as happy and
yeah.
But now he's in the council. If he don't want to participate, he needs to get out of it.
Yeah.
Resign. I guess he can resign. I don't guess they hold no gun against him, making him stay. Hell, he can leave town if he wants to. That's what he ought to do, in my opinion. So, my opinion ain't worth no more than nobody else's. Everybody's got an opinion now. They're worth one thing. I'll say that. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go. I want to hear some more comments. It's a good show tonight, Bob. It's good to see you. Right?
Yeah, good to talk to you.
Yeah. Okay. Stay in touch. Bye.
I will. Bye-bye. Good evening.
Yeah. You know what? I see people are jumping on Chad when Chad do something in their favor is all right, but when Chad stand up for himself and his own, then everybody want to cut him down.
Who you talking about?
Not right.
You say sheriff?
Chad.
Chad, okay, go ahead.
Chad Martin.
Yeah.
I say, you know, this area got a bad problem.
What's that?
And they want to act like it's not black and white, but that's all it is black and white. I can hear the anger coming out of his mouth about what he's saying, and it's all against black. It ain't. I mean, we try to hide it and act like it's not there. It's there. It's there. And justice haven't been served with. You know, we be beat on all the time. But when something come off against the other side, then we supposed to be quiet. You know, that day is over with. Ain't nobody no better than nobody. How you treat people, that's what's count. Color, that's the problem has been color all these years. The color didn't do it. Behavior did it.
Well, you're the most prejudiced person I know. You got a church and you won't allow white people in it. If that's not prejudicing, what is it?
Well, look how long it was. Look how long we've been under that kind of treatment. And then now.
Well, so how are you gonna bring them together when you don't even let them in your congregation? You just don't talk sense to me. I've got enough sense to know when you're a man of the Lord or Muhammad, and you don't let white people in because you have been mistreated. How are you going to get over that mistreatment if you don't bring in people that you love?
You know what? Where the love at?
Well, you're never going to have it when you ban them from your congregation. It'll never come together.
It ain't never coming together because we is different. We're not the same.
That's for sure.
White people see things one way and black people see things another way.
That's not always true.
It's not gonna never unite. And it ain't our fault it won't unite. Because we will. And you know that, Bob. Hey, we accept white people, but white folks don't accept us.
Why don't you have them in your church? You're talking out of your mouth now.
What? What, to come in and turn it over?
How you going to accept them if you don't allow them in you say you accept them, but now you're saying you don't accept them. You don't make sense.
Oh, no, because right now, if white people come in right now, hey, it will affect us in a way that we would never be well. Because it's hard to teach the truth when both people is there. Because you're going to catch feelings, they'll catch feelings. Because we so insanely in love with white people that we will forgive them for everything they done to us, but we won't forgive one another. But maybe because they didn't say nothing to them or they didn't speak to them. But with white folks, we forgive them for everything they done to us, and now we want to be with them. And now you saying that cause we don't let you in. Don't you know we've been banned? When I was in high school, I couldn't go in the restaurants and eat. I couldn't ride the school bus. But see, when it comes to you all, y'all can't take it. So we've been taking it ever since we've been here. I mean, is that how you gonna cook that?
Well, like I said, you say all this, I go along with what was done in the past, and it was wrong, no question about that.
Ain't nobody apologize for that, and I ain't talking about the low people. I'm talking about the people that did it, the government, the people in charge did this. They the one made slavery. We weren't no slaves before we were born here. They say we come here in 1619, and they brought us over here on a ship named Jesus in 1555, and it took from 1555 to 1619 is 64 years. It took them 64 years to take our mind out of our head and put their mind in us, and then they say we was a Negro. Never been no Negro. God ain't never created a Negro.
Well, we all know that was a tragedy. I mean, we all know.
No, but look, and then look at the school books. And look in the school books and see how our children have to learn the lie that was told them about history.
Well, not only that, but at one time they didn't allow black people to read books.
I know that. For 310 years, in the quarters they will kill them.
That's right.
And a white person that helps us read, they will kill them too.
That's right.
I know the poor whites can't do nothing about it, but I'm talking about those ones in power that can do something about it.
Right.
They did it. They did it. And I ain't saying all or nothing is bad, Bob. There's good people on both sides.
That's right.
But the good people can't do nothing about it. So that's the problem.
There's 48.
Some people.
There's 48 hate groups in the United States right now against blacks. 48. And the Klan has gotten, not only is it alive and well, but now they're getting into Nazism. Now think about that. So I know what you're up against. I read this stuff. I watch these documentaries on it. And it's a travesty. And I don't disagree with you on that at all. But you're not going to be able to make it better when you've got a place of the worship of the powers to be and you don't allow the other color to come in. That's not going to help the problem.
The only thing going to help is that we get the knowledge of ourselves like you all have it of yourself. If we get the knowledge of ourselves, well, we never had it. We never had it in religion. We never had it in education. So we got to be retaught and make us love ourselves. Don't you know white folks are safer in our community than black folks is?
Probably.
I know. And I'm not talking hate now. I'm talking facts.
Yeah.
But we not safe in the white neighborhood. And see, now, and I know you didn't make it like that, but that's where it is. And this is what I'm talking about. If we get our own, and people learn about our history, then I think this country will straighten up. Because if white folks knew the things that we invented, they wouldn't think the way they think about us. They don't see us as nothing but football players, basketball players, or something like that. They don't see us as...
It's out there. There's a TV program called Story Television, and they have documentaries on black history, and it's amazing to me that I never heard of this, never saw this, never heard of it in school. It wasn't taught. We didn't hear all that. We just heard about slaves being brought over here. There was slavery. Lincoln was against slavery, and it goes on and on and on, leading up to the Civil War, which was one of the largest battles ever fought in the world. And it was...
And you know what? And Lincoln, he really wasn't trying to free the slaves. He was really trying to get the Union passed. But since it was in the package, it went through. But that wasn't his main thing.
Well, it's documented in history. I saw a documentary that he was hated in the South because he was for the blacks. We got to take a break. We got to go.
Yeah, because they didn't want to lose their slaves.
Well, we got a difference on that. All right, got to go. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back. I don't mind. We got them all tonight, y'all.